Good morning, Max. I see. It is morning in your time, in your part of the
It
world.
is. It is morning, 9
You're
a.m. Lovely.
you're yeah, you're in Australia, right?
Yeah.
Thanks for your time. Really appreciate it. This is a big moment for you guys, right? You're a part of Serenade, the company that's partnered with the BRITs, and you guys are going to be dropping the first ever NFT collection to celebrate the 2022 award winners. It's an almighty big feather in your cap, sir. Do tell us how that partnership came to fruition.
We were doing some work with the BPI, chatting about different ways that we can celebrate musical achievement through NFTs. Obviously, there's a long history of celebrating great album performance through kind of record charting and kind of initiatives of the sort. And so we're in conversations about great ways to celebrate great music. And the BRITs came up as an opportunity to align a historically innovative brand with new technology that actually brings fans into the room a bit more than they generally do when they just watch an award show from home. And we got to talking about that, and our passion for the show was aligned. Our enthusiasm for actually telling the stories of musicians in a new way was aligned, but also just our appetite to give great stuff to fans was certainly what kind of brought all of this together.
I know the NFTs have been designed by West Midlands artist MRE. His work is crazy, man.
It's insane.
It's
insane.
It's dumb. Like, it's stupid. Like, levels are stupid. I know he's worked with previous Brit winners as well, Dave and Jay Haas. Talk about just, partnering up with him and him leading the charge on this.
Yeah, so we wanted to find an artist that was deeply involved with British music history and the artists that we're aligned with. We looked for many that had a presence both in the music industry, but also spoke to the creative palette that we were aspiring to. And when we had our initial chat with Emre, there was just this complete alignment between the ambitions for our project, which were all around keeping with the integrity of the BRITs kind of trophy, but extending it into this new world slowly and surely, and therefore kind of introduce something new to the overall BRITs universe.
Max, as I'm sitting there, right, I'm wondering what as a man overseas, what does the BRITs mean to you?
So I'm a music fan. I'm not a British, American, Australian music fan. I love great artists. And it just so happens that I grew up listening to a lot of British artists, which is why I do most of my work in the UK. But the BRITs is just about celebrating great international work. And so when I kind of read the list of nominees, I get excited about all the different names and all the different kind of work that I've listened to over the past year. I've been able to participate in kind of different ends of the kind of musical award show world. I was at the Mercury's a few months ago, and that was wonderful to see performances from a whole kind of range of kind of independent artists. And now to be associated with the BRITs is just a wonderful opportunity for me to kind of be a fan at a higher scale. It's not good enough just collecting records, CDs, cassettes, and VHSs. I got to do something with the BRITs.
I mean, listen, like I said, an almighty feather in the company's cap. What? Tell us a little bit about Serenade. How do you guys come to find yourself in the position that you're in?
Yeah, so 2 years ago, we thought about how we could improve the lives of artists by delivering new experiences to fans that would essentially raise their willingness to pay for great musical work. It all started with the insight that musical artists have these huge brands that are ultimately less monetized than they could be, and artists therefore kind of aren't compensated as best as they could be, and therefore they can't produce as much creative work. So if we could be a part of the solution there, then what a fantastic contribution to the arts. And we started off producing personalized musical performances as a way to connect artists and fans. And then we realized that what we wanted to do was help artists do less for more, create a few very special creative items that could be sold to many people as NFTs. And the wonderful thing is when you sell an NFT, then a fan can pass that on in the future. And there's a royalty attached that goes back to the original artist, which means that artists can create a small collection of things that give them kind of payment for the rest of time. And so that kind of looks and feels like the payment model around an album, but artists get the lion's share of the revenue. And so when we realized that there was an opportunity to use this technology, but also apply it to musical fandom, to simplify the technology, to make it environmentally sustainable so that you don't have to make any compromises on environmental sustainability to also lead a healthy, creative and financial artistic career, we just saw it as the best way to transform kind of musical creative independence.
You know, you segue nicely into the next question for me, which was the whole eco-friendly, because you've been built as an eco-friendly platform, right? So that's clearly of significance and importance to you. For the layman, for somebody who's out there trying to work out, you know, the FUD and all the background noise from what's actual fact, how are you guys eco-friendly, and how is your approach eco-friendly?
So I'll start with the layman fun analogies, and then I'll get real tech and dirty. From a layman's point of view, you would have to produce 197,000 Serenade NFTs to have the equivalent carbon emission of a single 12-inch vinyl. And so that just illuminates how kind of sophisticated the technology that we sit upon is in achieving those kind of eco credentials. Another analogy is that one Serenade NFT produces 1/10 of the carbon footprint of a tweet. Now, the actual mechanism for doing this is we sit on a more efficient blockchain, which is still within the Ethereum network, which is the network that has been scrutinized. But the blockchain that we sit on, called Polygon, is more efficient from a kind of ecological standpoint, but also from a cost base, which means that both artists and fans can produce and collect work more kind of affordably, which is really important to us because not only do we want to help artists put out environmentally sustainable work, but we want to help them do it at a price point that their fans can afford it, irrespective of kind of wealth and social status.
Max, you've done brilliantly. We won't get into what layer ones and layer twos are. We'll just leave it right there.
I didn't think we would.
Listen, you know, I noticed that fans, if they, as well as the price point, a tenner, right, which is great. Fans are going to be given a chance to, if they do end up owning a piece of music history as little as that price, they get to also win the VIP tickets to next year's Brit Awards. Is that right? Have they got? I couldn't work out if you have to buy all of them in order to get that, or if you just have to buy one and then you get a chance to have a VIP ticket. What's the deal? Yeah,
so it's if you own all of the 13 NFTs, you go in the running to get a VIP ticket to the next year's Brits to actually be in the room. But each one of those individual NFTs gives you this piece of music history. There are only 250 NFTs per category. And if you think of kind of the following of some of the nominated artists like a Billie Eilish, an Adele, Coldplay, Lil Sims, you've got these huge audiences of voracious fans. And so the Brits and Serenade wanted to introduce these collectibles to the world at an affordable price. In the future, if you as a fan are one of the lucky ones to get an NFT for £10, you can sell that in the future. And if you want to make a profit, wonderful. But the great thing is 15% of that in perpetuity will go back to the Brits Trust and Nordhoff Robbins.
Brilliant. And for those who don't want to get too wrapped up in the blockchain, you can use a credit card, can't you, Max?
You can. So we've made it so simple that we kind of abstract away from all the complexities of the tech. So you're just signing up to a platform, laying down your credit or debit card. If you're paying in pounds, if you're paying in US dollars, Aussie dollars, be my guest.
I think this is going to be one people should hold. If you're an NFT collector, this is a first. Always a good opportunity to get in, and the only opportunity to get in. at the beginning. So Max, unless there's anything else, I really appreciate all your time, and the best of luck, really.
No, really lovely just meeting you, and thank you for your time.